Let's go ahead and try to use the technique of solving a radical equation with a word problem. I mean, after all, a lot of the math that we're learning should be useful for real-world applications. I don't know how interested you are in hurricanes or the air pressure associated with them, but this sort of problem appears all the time with regard to air and wind. For example, the fuel efficiency of your car is highly dependent on the speed that you travel, and it's all due to air resistance. So I'm going to ask you to humor me, and we're going to deal with this problem for now, knowing that this technique applies to other types of problems. So for example, in this case, they give us velocity equals this number times the square root of this number minus p, where p is air pressure. And then they ask us, we'd like to estimate the air pressure when we know that the velocity of the wind is 54.5 meters per second. So what we'll do is we'll put in the 54.5 in place of Vp, which is really just velocity, but at velocity as a function of air pressure. And then we'll go ahead and solve for p. You ready? Let's have some fun. Here we go. 54.5 is the velocity. It's equal to 6.3, and it's all times the square root of 1013 minus p. And what we're going to do is try to solve for p. So we'll divide both sides of the equation by 6.3, and if you don't mind, I'm going to put the square root on the left. It just makes me feel better. Maybe you too. And I'll just leave this over here. Now, some of you folks really like to take that calculator out and do that. I don't love it. Oh, thank you. Somebody just sent me a remind to let me know that I missed out on that P. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anyways, I was just saying, don't necessarily combine everything together. Sometimes we find out later that there's benefits to leaving things the way they are. The next thing we're going to do is we got to get rid of this radical. Can you guess how we're going to do that? You can pause the video and I'll let you guess. Okay, hopefully you guessed. What we're going to do to get rid of this square root is square the left-hand side. And to make it legal, we'll square the right-hand side. And when we do that, we get this beautiful result, which is 1013 minus p equals some other stuff. And of course, it's a big, bulky thing. And again, if you really wanted to, you could go ahead and work it out on your calculator, or you can do what I'm doing and just leave it all written out. I'm going to go ahead and move the 1013 to the other side. That means we'll subtract it. And then I need to multiply both sides times negative to get rid of this negative sign. So I guess I'll do it in two steps to make sure that you guys can follow me. Let's go ahead and do negative p equals all this stuff minus 1013. And let's do this. That wasn't so bad. And then, of course, we got to get rid of this negative sign. And so in order to do that, we will go ahead and we'll just do p equals, and it'll be, how about 1013 minus whatever all of this stuff is. And I got to be honest with you, I could almost care less what the actual number is for the answer. I'm more concerned that you guys know the technique. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to box the answer just like this and get you guys in a habit of being more concerned about the process and less concerned about what the specific number is for the answer.